and Chairman of Integrated Association of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises of India, popularly known as IMSME of India. IMSME of India has been awarded first prize as the most responsible business member organization at the national level 2017. So put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome Mr. Rajiv Chawla, Chairman of IMSME of India.
I understand I'm between you and tea, which probably will be the lunchtime. So I'll come immediately straight to my presentation. It's a small, brief presentation. It is entirely from a different perspective other than a lot of multinationals and other large conglomerates that whom we all heard. I represent SMEs in India. I run my own small and medium enterprises. So I'll focus my talk on customer centricity and its applicability to the SME segment, and not necessarily those in technology, but many of the SMEs which are in the supply chain partnerships, whether it's the automobile supply chain or any other. So my presentation will focus there. Are you taking time?
You want to talk something about your...
Sorry.
You want to talk something about your organization? I have seen.
All right. I think they'll take 1 minute. I hope 1 minute. Okay. IMSME of India is India's largest network and body of SMEs in India. It has many chapters spread all over India in many cities. We work on a collaborative model. One of the very famous models is the demand aggregation. This is something that we started some 10 years back. In fact, we are one of the largest aggregators of demand in the SME segment, and then we procure together. Other than that, there are a number of support programs, financial subsidies that we bring to the SME world. You'll be surprised if I tell you that some of these financial subsidies and support programs are as high as 1 crore rupees per entrepreneur, per enterprise. And so the number of SMEs across India who are benefiting from this program. So a lot of such alliances. Idea is to create an ecosystem where any entrepreneur, any startup, an entrepreneur could be an aspiring entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur, an evergreen entrepreneur, anyone who's willing to, who wishes to start something and wants to ensure or to minimize the risks in the world of entrepreneurship. So we share our experiences. If you ask me, the simple magical formula is in hand-holding and showing them the right way. That's just about it. If I've reached somewhere in 33 years, believe me, I would have worked only for 5 years. 28 years I have only spent trying to find what to do, how to do, where to get a bank loan from, how to proceed further, which is the right technology, which is the right CRM. So burning fingers, experimenting on hits and trials. So 33 years, 28 years journey has been only there. So maybe today we can help another young entrepreneur achieve in 5 years what took me 33. So it is based upon these fundamentals and principles that IMSME of India is now there. It is highly rewarded, highly applauded. It's a miraculous organization. Many entrepreneurs call us a parasmani organization. I mean, it has a magical touch. For example, we've tied up with an oil company. Now, diesel to us is 1 rupee 50 paisa little cheaper than anybody else. So, because we are now the largest buyers of diesel, because SMEs have come together, maybe larger even than Hero MotoCorp or somebody else. Similarly, when I tie up with an insurance company, I negotiate for 10,000 cars. So our members, we have 10,000 cars. So I'm one of the largest buyers of insurances under one umbrella. So if all SMEs, small enterprises, they come together, we can beat any large corporate. So it is with that perspective that we are now tying up for right ERPs, Maybe we'll tie up for right CRM for 10,000 members. So idea is to bring a large market, make it a win-win proposition. Are we ready? It has a simple password, that's it.
Is this a private or?
It is a not-for-profit. It's a not-for-profit body run by entrepreneurs, created by entrepreneurs. But it's a private limited company, but a not-for-profit private limited company. So it is called a Section 25 company. So Section 25 company means the company would run like any other company, would do all compliances, file balance sheets, returns, pay income tax, everything. Everything would be run like a corporate, except that dividend will never be declared. So which means all the surplus that is generated in the company will remain within the company so that it is used only for the objective for which it was created. So if I create this company and as this company grows, I cannot take out money. So that is the only.
I think one of the greatest challenges within this sector, for example, we have 5,000 dealers.
Sir.
One is to get them organized, make sure that they follow the laws properly. And then the second challenge is to, because if they grow, we grow. How do you tackle these two? I'm talking from an industry perspective.
All right, great. In fact,
think scientifically is a challenge for us.
See, that's just let's see the challenge of growing with SMEs in an ecosystem. Let us say, and I'll give you a small example. Take the example of Maruti Suzuki. Now it is facing a huge challenge of the new policy which now the government is introducing. In fact, every automobile OEM, and that is the recall policy which is now going to come very soon for us. Now Maruti Suzuki or any other automobile for that matter, they don't manufacture everything. In fact, they buy everything from reliable sources and then they just assemble there. Now let us say they buy a braking system from a company like Kalyani Brakes. Now Kalyani Brakes would have maybe 100 more vendors who would be supplying them different products, so tier 2 vendors. And many of those tier 2 vendors would have, let us say 1,000 more tier 3 vendors who would be doing small processes for those, supplying them some rubber compound, doing some electroplating, some process for them. And there is frankly no control over what, the quality systems at Suzuki and right up to the tier 3. But the recall policy, if one product fails somewhere in the field, and suppose it is a critical product like the braking system or engine oil or something else, imagine the cost of recall that the companies like Volkswagen or Toyotas or Hondas of the world are facing. Now this recall policy is hitting India within the next few weeks or months. And therefore, to control the entire supply chain, and we don't. So now what do? They have to strengthen the supply chain. Now they would have a good control over, let's say, tier 1, a company like Showa or Gabriel or Tenneco or Motherson Sumi or Kalyani Brakes. These are the tier 1 suppliers. But when these tier 1 suppliers are buying from tier 2 and then for the tier 3, anything that goes wrong in the supply chain impacts a company and battle. And that is one bad experience for you, because for you it is one car that you've purchased, and if it fails anywhere in the field, or if it's a two-wheeler, it could be any product. Imagine the repercussion it would have in the entire ecosystem. One bad customer makes noise to 6,000 people, but one bad automobile customer, one bad buying experience for an automobile customer, this noise could go to 60,000 people or 6 lakh people. Tomorrow you could go to a consumer court and the news could go to 6 crore people. So, idea is to strengthen the supply chains. So, Maruti Suzuki has set up a beautiful center called MACE. It is a center of excellence where they are training tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and they are even visiting their premises, training them, hand-holding them, helping them upgrade, just to ensure that their supply chain is, it runs trouble-free. And every product that comes to Maruti or Suzuki, it's trouble-free and reliable. So they're spending money and time. Similarly, I would say if you're working with some SME and segments, I believe you must invest your time and energy in it. Sometimes money as well. Idea is that the stronger they become, the more they would be dedicated to you, of course, because you'll be commanding their trust and market and many things. So I think you cannot expect the market to grow on its own and then just reap fruits. Today one has to invest in the markets. For example, and by the time it takes, and maybe I think this is just the right interaction and you wouldn't even need the presentation. Let's say ERP. Many of the IT companies, they develop great ERPs. Honestly, I still have to meet one right IT person who can sell me the ERP. And sometimes I say, oh God, thank you so much, because what if all these sales acumen also would have gone to these IT company people? They would have become virtual gods. Because already they're carrying all the intelligence and all the technology with them. But one thing that misses is the connect. What would make a small shopkeeper buy a CRM or enroll for CRM? For example, I always, when I get these presentations, people trying to sell different ERPs, let's say from SAP to any Tally ERP or whatever. My one question would be, why do I need training to run here? No one gave me training to manage Facebook or WhatsApp. Even a 6-year-old child, he could buy a video game or download a video game and play without getting any training. It is so user-friendly that a 6-year-old can download a video game, and a fairly complicated one, and become perfect. But my people, till date, it have been installed in my enterprise for the last 10 years, and month after month, or every quarter when we are reviewing, we find many systems, not being complied with. And one typical reason would be that some workforce have left, others new have joined, they are engineers, and they are waiting for the training from the ERP people to come and train them so that my company runs operationally. So the day an ERP can run the way a video game is played, 50 crore people would be using it. Imagine the size. Imagine the size of the market today. There are 1 crore 17 lakh GST registered enterprises in India. 1 crore 17 lakh. GST registration means 100% online. Because every payment, every return, every activity that you do, it has to be online. Which means they have computers, they have internet, and either directly or through a consultant, they are filing compliance reports and taxes and everything online. Which also means they have their accounts and other things online. So look at the market. 1 crore 17 lakh. And do you know, starting December, the GST, the last year's GST will enter a very... Okay, fine. I think that's okay. So starting this January, December, the final audit of the last year's returns, which is the stock matching, stock inventory, stock reconciliation, that every enterprise in India has to do. Plus, enterprises with 2 crore plus tax, turnover, they have to go in for GST audits by chartered accountants. Which means there is no enterprise above 2 crore that can run without an ERP. The reality is that today in India, much less than 50,000 enterprises are using ERP. What about 1 crore 16 lakh 50,000 more who need to connect it? It's a huge market. It is how an IT company tomorrow would perceive. Do you have a disruptive marketing plan? Do you really have a product that is disruptive in terms of how user-friendly it is. Can an accountant simply download the product on his laptop or mobile and run it the way he runs or plays a music game? The day IT people would actually converge to the market and understand what the market needs. And that is what perhaps customer centricity is all about. I believe, typical marketing, let's go back to the Philip Kotler. Product, price, place, and promotion. Look at the product. Today, brand loyalty is history. Every customer, every day is changing preferences. One Samsung, next time iPhone, third time could be something else. So brand loyalty today is history. So technology is ensuring that new innovative products are coming there. And therefore, any company today that can add some value or do some value engineering in terms of manufacturing, in terms of technology, in terms of reaching out in a product, it will change the game. Period. Place. Look at the way Uber and Ola and so many other things, they dramatically change the world. Disruptive placement. What is Amazon doing? In fact, I had a meeting at Niti Aayog a couple of days back. A couple of weeks back, and the secretary there, convener there, he told me, he said, Rajiv, sometimes I wonder that perhaps the only industry for future is logistics. Because now, next time you will have an Amazon-backed van, coming to your home, opening the doors, you go in, pick up all that you want, and pay by the card. Next time when the van comes, you drop back what you didn't like and return and pick up something else. This is going to change the way the whole world is doing. I'm sure you know that Amazon is now preparing for the drone deliveries, and they are even planning to set up a space station from where a drone would just carry a product and deliver right at your home. Why wait even till the next day? So perhaps the only industry today or in future would be the logistics industry. So customer experiences or customer centricity is increasingly changing the way the world has been doing business. Look at the pricing, disruptive pricing. And if you don't believe in disruptive pricing, talk to Jio. Jio pricing is disruptive pricing. For the first time in the history of mankind, they said, no telephone call. No one ever would pay for a telephone call, period. Just pay for data, and that also 1/10 the price of what you were paying till yesterday. They're in profits. Disruptive pricing. Within minutes, they change. So whether it's a product, it's a place, it's pricing, or it's promotion today you have to be where your customer is. Talk to them where they are available. If they're on social media, fine. And a lot of things are changing, a lot of customer preferences are changing. And therefore, the old stories like quality consciousness, right quality product is the first step towards customer, making a loyal customer. Friends, right quality is mandatory. That is eligibility. You don't win markets because of the right quality. Any TV that you buy, any mobile phone that you buy in the market, any car that you buy from the market, it has to run a warranty period. So quality is inbuilt. Gone is the time when we were talking in terms of percentage or parts per million or parts per billion. Today it is zero defect. Period. If you want to supply something to defense, you want to supply something for aeronautical, it has to be zero defect. And why aeronautical? Why not a car? Why not a two-wheeler that you and I buy? So the size of the markets are huge. But quality today is not the game changer. It is the minimum eligibility. If you're not producing right quality, you better not be in business. In fact, you don't deserve to be in business. That is what the market says. So quality no more is bringing in customers. It is the customer experience which has now moved away and ahead of quality. I remember someone told me that, Rajiv, a lot of people sometimes, they say that we are 99.9% right. But even in 99.9%, 0.1% is failure, error. And if you're okay with 0.1% failure, then you should be okay with 16 air accidents every week at Indira Gandhi International Airport. Just 0.1% error. It should also mean a case of 1,50,000 babies being dropped by doctors at the time of birth every year. 1,50,000 babies. Just 0.1% error. It would also mean a case of 1,200 mistaken surgeries every week only in Delhi NCR, where the doctor takes out your right kidney instead of left. Just 0.1%. So even this 0.1% failure today is not acceptable to the market. So that era of right quality, right approaches, fine, that is mandatory. What else? So changing preferences, changing demands, changing loyalties, changing communication, and the way the world, and perhaps the whole world is enrolled today in one university. There's only one universal university in the world, and that is the WhatsApp University. People who've never gone to schools and colleges, people who have never read a book in their life, or not even comic books, a lot of workmen, a lot of rickshaw pullers, a lot of auto rickshaw drivers who would never have gone to a school or college are enrolled today in WhatsApp University. They are the market today. Market, whether it is for politicians, whether it is for people like Amazon or Flipkart or anyone, that's the market. So when you have to reach out the way they are. So I believe that today customer centricity has entirely different meaning, and no business, and particularly the SME segment, because someone asked a question, you asked a question about from unorganized to organized. That is what the journey is all about. I think the biggest disruption today is the transformation from unorganized to organized. Whether it is demonetization or GST. These two major financial impacts that this country has seen in the last 3-4 years, friends, these two measures have only decimated the unorganized sector and given a huge fillip to the large organized sector. Now, whether the SMEs can transform and become big, or they die and someone else becomes bigger, that is another question. So I think it's all about those experiences. So those of us who are in SMEs, we have to understand that it's a virtual war with the organized, more capable, those already using CRM, those already working with customer experiences, and a small retail. Last week, in fact last Saturday at Marriott here, I was addressing the All India the jewelry people, the Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council, the World Gold Council was there. Hundreds, thousands, millions of jewelry manufacturers in India at the unorganized sector are facing huge disruptions. So that is what the challenge is. But the point is, when I was a child, I was told Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will. But today, I have one law to remind to the SMEs. If something can go wrong, fix it. To hell with Murphy. And that is what the world of entrepreneurship is all about. And therefore, let's look ahead. Let's understand the importance of customer relationship, customer experience, whether it's the manufacturing sector, or it's the IT, or the way you want to sell your CRM or ERPs to me. Idea is you have to get into the shoes, understand what would make the customer buy a product, use it, reuse it, and also with unlimited warranties. And look at the warranties of the service sector. One last minute and I'll close, and I have a question mark to anyone here. In fact, most of you I see are from the service sector. You buy a mobile phone or a TV or a car. You want a warranty. You buy a fan, 5-year warranty. You buy an air conditioner. Compressor has a 7-year warranty. Sometimes you take an extended warranty. And if my fan, because of poor electricity, voltage fluctuation, for whatever reason, if the motor gets burned or the fan is not doing fine, you go to consumer court and demand a replacement. What is your warranty in case of service? Have you ever said, if you're not satisfied with my CRM or my ERP, take your money back. Has any school ever told us that, okay, your child has not done well, we're sorry, take the fees back? Have you ever walked into a hall, watched a movie, and come out and say, oh, I didn't like the movie, give me my money back? But when you buy my product, I give you a replacement policy as well. The movie, the cinema, the service sector, the ERPs and the CRMs. Idea is, are we actually focused only upon sales? And then we end up calling it a customer experience just because some people are not coming back because of bad experiences? So I believe that the day this service sector also realizes that we are as liable for money back as a manufacturing product or as a physical product that people buy, that is the day the real transformation would happen. Thank you very much. Good that presentation.
Thank you so much for sharing your
Amazon, in fact, I had a meeting at Niti Aayog a couple of days back, a couple of weeks back, and the secretary there, the leader there, he told me, he said, Rajiv, sometimes I wonder that perhaps the only industry for future is logistics. Because now, next time you'll have an Amazon-backed van, coming to your home, opening the doors, you go in, pick up all that you want, and pay by the card. Next time when the van comes, you drop back what you didn't like and return and pick up something else. This is going to change the way the whole world is doing. I'm sure you know that Amazon is now preparing for the drone deliveries, and they are even planning to set up a space station from where a drone would just carry a product and deliver right at your home. Why wait even till the next day? So perhaps the only industry today or in future would be the logistics industry. So customer experiences or customer centricity is increasingly changing the way the world has been doing business. Look at the pricing, disruptive pricing. And if you don't believe in disruptive pricing, talk to Jio. Jio pricing is disruptive pricing. For the first time in the history of mankind, they said, no telephone call. No one ever would pay for a telephone call, period. Just pay for data, and that also 1/10 the price of what you were paying till yesterday. They're in profits. Disruptive pricing. Within minutes, they change. So whether it's a product, it's a place, it's pricing, or it's promotion today you have to be where your customer is. Talk to them where they are available. If they're on social media, fine. And a lot of things are changing, a lot of customer preferences are changing. And therefore, the old stories like quality consciousness, right quality product is the first step towards customer, making a loyal customer. Friends, right quality is mandatory. That is eligibility. You don't win markets because of the right quality. Any TV that you buy, any mobile phone that you buy in the market, any car that you buy from the market, it has to run a warranty period. So quality is inbuilt. Gone is the time when you're talking in terms of percentage or parts per million or parts per billion. Today it is zero defect. Period. If you want to supply something to defense, you want to supply something for aeronautical, it has to be zero defect. And why aeronautical? Why not a car? Why not a two-wheeler that you and I buy? So the size of the markets are huge. But quality today is not the game changer. It is the minimum eligibility. If you're not producing right quality, you better not be in business. In fact, you don't deserve to be in business. That is what the market says. So quality no more is bringing in customers. It is the customer experience which has now moved away and ahead of quality. I remember someone told me that, Rajiv, a lot of people sometimes, they say that we are 99.9% right. But even in 99.9%, 0.1% is failure, error. And if you're okay with 0.1% failure, then you should be okay with 16 air accidents every week at Indira Gandhi International Airport. Just 0.1% failure. It should also mean a case of 1,50,000 babies being dropped by doctors at the time of birth every year. 1,50,000 babies. Just 0.1% error. It would also mean a case of 1,200 mistaken surgeries every week only in Delhi NCR, where the doctor takes out your right kidney instead of left. Just 0.1%. So even this 0.1% failure today is not acceptable to the market. So that era of right quality, right approaches, fine, that is mandatory. What else? So changing preferences, changing demands, changing loyalties, changing communication, and the way the world, and perhaps the whole world, is enrolled today in one university. There's only one universal university in the world, and that is the WhatsApp University. People who've never gone to schools and colleges, people who have never read a book in their life, or not even comic books, a lot of workmen, a lot of rickshaw pullers, a lot of auto rickshaw drivers who would never have gone to a school or college are enrolled today in WhatsApp University. They are the market today. Market, whether it is for politicians, whether it is for people like Amazon or Flipkart or anyone, that's the market. So when you have to reach out the way they are. So I believe that today customer centricity has entirely different meaning, and no business, and particularly the SME segment, because someone asked a question, you asked a question about from unorganized to organized. That is what the journey is all about. I think the biggest disruption today is the transformation from unorganized to organized. Whether it is demonetization or GST. These two major financial impacts that this country has seen in the last 3-4 years, friends, these two measures have only decimated the unorganized sector and given a huge fillip to the large organized sector. Now, whether the SMEs can transform and become big, or they die and someone else becomes bigger, that is another question. So I think it's all about those experiences. So those of us who are in SMEs, we have to understand that it's a virtual war with the organized, more capable, those already using CRM, those already working with customer experiences, and a small retail. Last week, in fact last Saturday at Marriott here, I was addressing the All India the jewelry people, the Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council, the World Gold Council was there. Hundreds, thousands, millions of jewelry manufacturers in India at the unorganized sector are facing huge disruptions. So that is what the challenge is. But the point is, when I was a child, I was told Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will. But today, I have one law to remind to the SMEs. If something can go wrong, fix it. To hell with Murphy. And that is what the world of entrepreneurship is all about. And therefore, let's look ahead. Let's understand the importance of customer relationship, customer experience, whether it's the manufacturing sector, or it's the IT, or the way you want to sell your CRM or ERPs to me. Idea is you have to get into the shoes, understand what would make the customer buy a product, use it, reuse it, and also with unlimited warranties. And look at the warranties of the service sector. One last minute and I'll close, and I have a question mark to anyone here. In fact, most of you I see are from the service sector. You buy a mobile phone or a TV or a car, you want a warranty. You buy a fan, 5-year warranty. You buy an air conditioner, compressor has a 7-year warranty. Sometimes you take an extended warranty. And if my fan, because of poor electricity, voltage fluctuation, for whatever reason, if the motor gets burned or the fan is not doing fine, you go to consumer court and demand a replacement. What is your warranty in case of service? Have you ever said, if you're not satisfied with my CRM or my ERP, take your money back? Has any school ever told us that, okay, your child has not done well, we're sorry, take the fees back? Have you ever walked into a hall, watched a movie, and come out and say, oh, I didn't like the movie, give me my money back. But when you buy my product, I give you a replacement policy as well. The movie, the cinema, the service sector, the ERPs and the CRMs. Idea is, are we actually focused only upon sales? And then we end up calling it a customer experience just because some people are not coming back because of bad experiences? So I believe that the day this service sector also realizes that we are as liable for money back as a manufacturing product or as a physical product that people buy, that is the day the real transformation would happen. Thank you very much. Good that presentation.
Thank you so much for sharing. So now I would like to call Mr. Anuj Singla, co-founder of CRM Academy of Asia. Please come on stage to give him his memento. And a huge round of applause for both of them.